listeners tell me again and again they're worried that Hillary Clinton will win the White House because you run as an independent. Are you ready to reassure Republicans tonight that you will run as a Republican and abide by the decision of the Republicans?
I really am. I'll be honest. I really am. I mean, people have been putting me to question. I really am.
I can apply.
With me now to talk about all of this, Star Parker, founder and president for the Center for Urban Renewal and Education, and Charmaine Yost, a former Reagan advisor. Welcome to both of you.
Good to be here, Carol.
Thank you. Nice to have you both here. Star, before I get to my questions, I must disclose that Ben Carson serves on your advisory board for your nonprofit. So now that that's out of the way, I will pose the first question to you. Donald Trump says he will not run as an independent. You heard him. Do you believe him?
I do believe him. I believe that Donald Trump understands that the American voters, and particularly the Republicans, are very serious about this candidacy. They are very serious about what's at stake for our country, and they want him to be serious if he's going to go the long run, to go into Iowa, to go into New Hampshire, to go into South Carolina, and to Super Tuesday. He's throwing out a lot of bombs. When you talk about this new question on the table about around Muslims, all Arabs aren't Muslim, all Muslims aren't Arabs, so we need to understand deeper what do you have in mind if you are going to be the president. So yes, I think that Donald Trump is beginning to take this much more seriously, and it is assuring to Republican voters, I would believe, that he will not then bolt and go independent on them after all of this mess that he's creating.
Well, Charmaine, Donald Trump threw a lot of ideas out, but I'm not sure how he would accomplish it. For example, about the internet, he said he wanted to shut down parts of the internet to ISIS, but he didn't explain how exactly he would accomplish that or what that might mean.
That's really interesting that you bring up that moment, Carol, because I think that that was a really important moment in the debate. Even though it's not getting as much attention, the real Achilles heel for Donald Trump is the fact that he's coming across as strong and certain, and in these uncertain times, the American people, that's what they want, is someone who is assertive and can't and doesn't vacillate at all. But the way that you beat someone like that and the way that you start to see them slip is if they become a laughingstock and if they say things that come across as dumb and stupid and start being spread around the internet as GIFs and different jokes. And so the more that Donald Trump last night talked about our internet and said things that sounded really a little bit shaky and laugh-inducing, that's what's a trouble for Donald Trump.
Interesting you say that, because I'm going to ask this question of you, Star. The most contentious exchange came between Donald Trump and Jeb Bush over some of what Bush would say the more ridiculous things that Trump says and his, quote, chaotic leadership style. Let's listen to that exchange.
We need strength. We don't have it. When Jeb comes out and he talks about the border, and I saw it, and I was witness to it, and so was everyone else, and I was standing there, they come across as an act of love. He's saying the same thing right now with radical Islam, and we can't have that in our country. It just won't work. We need strength.
Governor Bush.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency. That's not going to happen. And I do have the strength. Leadership is not about attacking people and disparaging people. Leadership is about creating a serious strategy to deal with the threat of our time.
So, Star, who won that exchange?
I believe that Bush did. Jeb Bush actually won. You know, Ted Cruz had an interesting line last night that border security is national security. So we absolutely must do something about the border. And there are two vying opinions about within the Republican Party about how to handle these issues. Jeb Bush has a handle on national security. Perhaps on border security, that's where we need some more discussion. How are we going to protect our interests, but yet be the diverse society that we are, and to be able to build ourselves on the international stage as we take on ISIS and other challenges around the world. Jeb Bush was incredible last night, which is probably reassuring to his supporters.
You know, can I jump in on that point, Carol? Because I think it's really interesting that you played that clip. Because even though this morning Jeb Bush is not getting as much attention as the others on the stage, and people are saying that this is nearing the end for him, that single clip won the night on Facebook. It was the single most shared thing going around the internet. That's really significant because at the end of the day, you have what really endures from the debates is what people are seeing on social media, what they're talking about. And the fact that Jeb Bush was able to land that punch on Donald Trump really makes a difference.
Interesting. Thanks so much to both of you, Star Parker, Charmaine Yost.
Thank you, Carol.